Welcome back to Schrodman's shop. This is going to be my next little project here. This table saw tried to kill me on the last bowl. Hence, I'm going to try to stop that from happening again by adding this little gem. E-stop switch, emergency stop. Well, I guess, there we go. It, instead of normally closed contacts, press it, it opens, shuts power off. To reset, give it a twist, and you're ready to go again. So what I've decided to do is add I'm not aiming too good. There we go. Something in here, and there is something called a T-nut or a T-bolt that is designed to slide in there. That slot in this extruded aluminum runs the entire length of the fence rail. Well, they're difficult to find, those little T things. So I decided to make them. I came up with, these are carriage bolts. So I had an idea, if I got the right sized one, that the square should fit inside the slot. Well, the dome, the head of the bolt, was a little too big. So I did a little measuring and I found that the width should be about 1.5 centimeters, 1.4 I think. The square of the carriage bolt, well, it fits perfectly. So I narrowed this down a little bit on the grinder. Whoop. Narrowed down the head a little bit on the grinder. And then with just a file, I was able to carve a little channel out. Not too good, not that great of a view for you, sorry. I wonder if I bring it up a little closer. No, it's out of focus. Anyway, if I took this little corner out of here, I would get the right height and the right width for this step in here. And without much work at all, I end up with this. Which is exactly what I wanted. So what I'm going to do is take an L bracket, drill a hole in it, and that will mount on that hole. I got to make another one of those because I want 2 brackets on it for strength and just for sturdiness. And I'll take 2 of those brackets, mount them on the bottom of that, and then I can mount my switch to bracket, switch, like so. It'll have to sit up a little proud because there'll have to be a nut underneath the bracket where the bolt attaches. But other than that, I think we're in good business. I can, drop the screw. I have holes here for a 3/8 inch strain relief, or connector as they're known. And I can run some what's commonly called cab tire, or extension cord wire, if you like, from there to the switch that's at the far end. And let me see if I can, there it is. That will tie into here, and that will be in series with the main power switch. So I can turn it off and on here, and if I happen to be over on the far side, all I got to do is punch the switch to get it power down. And the beauty of mounting it this way is I don't have to drill any holes in my extruded aluminum, and I'll set the switch here, and over time I may find that, well, I want it over here a little further. So all I got to do is loosen those nuts a little bit, slide the whole thing along, and I'm back in business. So I'm gonna keep you guys with me a little bit on this project, because somebody else out there may want to give that a try. So, anyway, stay tuned. This little project is turning into a nightmare. This little emergency stop switch is as cute as it is clearly made in well, let's just go with the eastern part of the globe. And to make this thing as safe as I can, I've added this on. I'll get my cab tire in here, wire it, and I've found, I don't know, I guess you can't see it. Yeah. When I first got that in, because the box is so small, the nut that's on here was too close to the edge, so I had to file that down. Then I said, good, I'm clear now. But no. The back of the switch was touching on the top of the connector, strain relief. So I was stymied. So I took a couple hours and thought about it, and I said, well, if I can put some kind of a spacer between here and the box, it'll pull that whole thing out far enough that I should make it work. And it did work. So I still went ahead and filed off the top of the strain relief to give me a little bit more relief. And now I find, by measurement, I have 3 millimeters between this, and the back end of the switch. I'm not too good at this. I'm good at this, but I'm not too good at staying in frame. So it fits together real nice now. And I'm ready to go and insert this thing. But I still intend to put some tape over the back of this after I wire it, because I'm going to be using the normally closed terminals, and once I wire this, there's going to be live wire or live voltage on here. So if I put some tape across the top, that should stop it from trying to arc across to the nut on here. Now this box is all plastic, so even if it does try to arc across, it really has nowhere to go. It's still safe. I got lots of other things waiting to kill me. But anyways, that's where we're at with this project. I've got my brackets all cut to length, drilled for a hole to mount to the extruded aluminum. I got my hole drilled in here to go on here, and it will still fit in here. And I also had to the mount screws for this on the brackets go in here. It's a mighty tiny little hole, but I have some 1024 screws in stock. I'm not sure what that is in metric. There's nothing in metric, I guess, but that's number 10 diameter, 24 threads per inch. And I have some lock nuts in stock that match that. But of course they're too big to go in those little holes. So I filed down 2 corners of them, and they fit in there perfect. And the beauty of it is, they'll stay there tight while I tighten up the 2 screws in here. So that basically, aside from, I'm going to wire it before I put it on the saw and close it up, mount it, and then all I got to do is worry about the other end. Well, the other end, I drilled a hole in it and put another one of these so that I can run a piece of wire directly from one to the other, and I can put a couple of little clamps up inside the saw that'll hold the cable from hanging down. So that's really all I'm worried about. If I could get that tight enough in here, I could just pull them apart a little bit and have the cable hold itself in place. But we'll see how that goes. But for now, we are continuing. I have these hole saws out, and that's what I used to cut these holes, was a hole saw. So, but we're good for now. Well, finally, here's my fancy new little e-stop switch, and it was no mean feat getting it mounted there. I ran the cable across. I'll zoom out a little bit here. There, you can just see the other switch there on the far side now. The cable runs underneath, and I was able to attach it using the bolts that mount the fence rail to the tabletop, using some tie wraps, the kind with the little mount hole on the end. I had to drill them out a little bit bigger. It runs over to this switch, and these two switches are in series, so it's worth the effort to have put it in there. If you, as they are still in series, this one's still on. It works well. That little switch was about $20 Canadian. That's, I think, $6 American. All in all, it probably took me about 8 hours to put it in there at the level of installation that I would do, well, I did for myself. When it comes to safety, I don't like the scrimp. It's all electrically safe, and it was an interesting project. I would recommend to anybody to put one on their saw. I mean, to me, the more places you have to turn that saw off, if you have to get to it, the better you are. So, thanks for watching Schroedman's Shop. My name is Dave. Hope to see you on the next one. Please like and subscribe and share. And thanks again for watching. Be safe.